We want to look at the headers required for this job, both door and window headers, and their information regarding headers is going to be found in the structural. If we look at this, we'll see that they're specifying 3 2x8 headers, unless otherwise noted here for this, and this is a 6070 door opening here. And it does have a mezzanine platform above it, but it's not bearing the load of the truss. So in our scheme of things, it really would not be a load bearing. If we come over here to the hallway here, we see 3 2x8s over a 3070 door. So we can kind of take that, but then we come out here and see a load bearing 3 2x10s to carry the truss load here. Let's scroll on down and look at the window here. Here's a exterior window, 3 2x8 header. So as a general rule, our window headers should be 3 2x8s and door headers should be 3 2x8s. And we'll look at that in some detail. An interesting thing here is that we'll notice that this door header here is indicated as 3 2x12s, where if we come up here and look at the detail on it, it's indicating 3 2x10s. Well, I would go with the 3 2x12s. Obviously, it's a little heftier. It is a load bearing in the 60-foot truss line here. So you may find that always go with the bigger of the headers. Here's 3 2x10s indicating right here. And actually this this amounts to a cased opening here to where the baptistry comes down. No doorway at all over that. This is 3 2x10s here also, and it is carrying a load of these floor joists and this floor. This is about 6 feet long here because it's actually a pocket door, 3/0 pocket door. See it back here. So we can find a general rule here for certain headers there. We'll want to go with 2x10. Others, here's 3 2x8s. This is a 2x6 wall here. It's not really bearing a load, so to speak, because it's just carrying the edge of this mechanical platform. So we'll see a couple of different type headers as we look. And let's take a look at the headers as listed in the program here. And because headers, even though they have many different names, generically they are the same thing. They have 1, 2, or no bonds here. In this case, it's got 2 2x4 bonds. And it's a 2x4 header with a piece of 1/2 inch plywood filler in there. So in designing this, it's just become simpler to use a naming convention, not necessarily in agreement with the plan, but it will identify the same type header. So this is basically saying I have 2 2x4s and a 2x4 width. We look at the next one. This says here we have 2 2x8s and a 2x4 width. So you can see I've used a naming convention here to try to facilitate keeping track of what's going on with the header without having to dig back down and look up what some H20AT is. Who knows? You have to look it up each time. Simpler to do it this way. And the headers then in this program are generic, and so they are not plan specific. If you find you need a header that's not defined in this list, then basically you're going to have to graphically draw one, give it a name here, and drop it back down into the folder where these reside, and then you'll be able to pull it up in the list and assign it to a window or door. So we move along here, 3 2x10s and a 6 with foam in it. So this is an exterior header going in a window or door that's an exterior. So we put 1-inch foam here as opposed to the plywood. So you see the header name is defining what is in it. Here, 3 2x10s in a 2x6, and it's a L. You'll see that used sometimes for load bearing, although for the most part they're all load bearing. Here's 3 2x12s in a 2x6 wall with foam and an exterior door. And here's 3 2x6 with in a 2x6 wall. And I've got OSB 7/16 1/2-inch plywood. You'll see that show up sometimes, the same thing. This is identical header with a slightly different name. And again, this header is used extensively here in this plan, 3 2x8s in a 2x6 wall with foam. So this is going to go over all of our windows we'll see shortly. So you see the generic headers in here. Some are used, some are not used, but again, it's just not plan specific. So if you find something that in a future plan that you don't need, basically you're into drawing a little graphic here and naming it. Okay, so that's that's number 21 right there. These are all that I've got defined so far. So again, they're generic. And what we're going to do is we're going to assign them to a window. So we can add headers that are non-specific. We take a look at the windows that we've got right now. We have A, B, and some storefront windows. Let's go back to the windows themselves here. Way down here. Okay. The plan gives you an A window, 3 feet 4 inches, and a B window, 3 feet 2 inches. Doesn't say anything about the rough opening. And then you gave this particular window never gets used here, but it's defined in the original drawing. You've got a couple of storefront windows here. And these actually, I think, are not used either. So at some point in time, you're going to have to get the plans for the windows that are actually bought for the job. And those plans then will give you the rough opening here for those. Let's take a quick look, see if I can find those. Okay, so this is what's actually bought, and this is what you're going to have to use. First off, you see that it's a 38-inch window there. That'd be 3 feet and 2 inches. Not exactly like what was in the original plan. And it's 60 inches high with a rough opening of 60.5 and 38.5. So this is what you're going to have to use because this is what they bought. And the other window here, you got an A window and a B window here. The other window is actually 76 by 38. So all the windows are the same width. So we can use the same identical header in all of them. And the taller window is actually going to go in the sanctuary area. If we go back to the I'll find it here in a second. Let's go back and just view the Okay, so what we see is the shorter windows are coming around the front. The thing about the windows, they all need to be the exact same height off of the ground here. And that may or may not be specified in the plan, either the height to the top of the window from the floor or the height to the bottom window from the floor. Or in this case, a number was given to us, a height down to the top of the window from the top plate. So that particular number was provided for us. So we're going to start putting the windows in based on the information that we have that was provided for us. So again, you got to be careful with all of this. Uh, you can use the plan as a starting point, but ultimately you're going to have uh, the manufacturer's brochures to know what the actual specifics are.